Howdy, Facebook. We got Hector from Island Real Estate here with owners Brad and Sally of Waterfront Retreat. They're going to tell you a little bit about their property today.
Hi, Brad. I am introducing our property today and want to say welcome to you all. We're in Anna Maria. We came down here a number of times when I was a child. In fact, if Hector will turn and point to this fish up here, this was caught down here when I was 12 with my dad. It brings back a lot of great memories. It has since lost some of its fins from falling off of different walls around the places that we've moved to. But we bought this house with the idea of having a sort of a water retreat. Our kids, we have 3 boys, Brad, Logan, and Skylar. Brad's up in Boston studying. Logan is working in a management consulting idea in Washington, D.C. And our youngest is in school in North Carolina, Skylar. And it was a chance for us to kind of lure them back to the Tampa area. We live in Tampa, and it's been a easy commute from Tampa. It's about an hour or so, a little bit more than that, possibly from the airport in Tampa. And we have a lot of friends that fly in and come to visit, and they like to do things that we like to do. And the things that we like about the house, when we walked in this first area, it was all dark wood, and we decided we wanted it to be whitewashed and sort of that fresh Florida feeling. We wanted it to be sort of that old school of laid back, which is kind of the underlying feeling at Anna Maria, is that it's a laid back island. And the people here are laid back, they're friendly. I just got back from the famous donut shop. If you don't do that when you're here, you're nuts. It's world famous, literally, and the coffee's great, and you can have everything from a key lime donut to an Oreo donut made right in front of you. And there were kids there, and they were all being friendly, and I had the dogs. If you don't have dogs, you might want to get one of these. This is Samba La Bamba. She is the daughter of Babalu. And Babalu is, believe it or not, a famous show dog. She was in the national championship and won 3 Blue Ribbons. And Samba is a year old, and we had a litter right here in this house about a year ago. And they were all gathered on the floor, 8 of them. So they're scattered around the country. So let me tell you a little bit about this house. As you come through it, it's, I guess the biggest thing that attracted us was the water. So if you were to look this way, roughly a block away is the beach. That's the Bayside Beach, which means you've got the Skyway Bridge and all that's attracted to that. If you tarpon fish, there are 2 world-class tarpon spots right here. One is right under the Skyway, and one is out here at Bean Point. Bean Point from here is probably something like half a mile. And then if you turned this way, you would hit the main beaches, the Gulf beaches that Florida is so famous for. And that's a major attraction. So we have friends that like the quiet beach over here, the sort of activity beach over here with lots of seashells and waves coming in. And if you like to fish, it's Bean Point. And you would have to hit places out there that were just boaters' paradise. So I'm going to walk you through the house if I could and introduce you to my lovely wife Sally, who's in this room over here. We're walking from the foyer into the dining room, and Sally may say hello to you real quickly.
Hello, I'm Sally, and I thought I would show you a few of my favorite parts of the house, probably starting in the kitchen. The goal here really was just to have a really big, huge, wide open space so that we could bring in families and kids, everybody can be together, and we just opened up the house. We blew open all the walls, made it nice and big with little pockets that people can get away. Downstairs there's actually a really cool retreat for kids and teenagers with a card table and a big huge screen TV with Netflix streaming, and they can get away. The idea behind the kitchen was that whoever is the chef can actually be cooking and preparing meals and can be part of what's going on in the rest of the house. So we have this big, huge 11-foot island. There's a gourmet range with an oven warming drawer, 2 dishwashers, 2 big sinks, and kids or teenagers or guests can sit along the island. So while you're cooking, you can be feeding people. It's just uber convenient. It makes for just a really warm gathering place for everybody.
So the other thing is, you can tell by this property, if you like to entertain, this is kind of a cool place. If you like openness, this is a cool place. If you want it dark, and what have you, this is not a cool place. This is not what I think, to us anyway, the sort of island life is like. So we have, today's a Friday, we have come down here a little early, blowing off work a little early, and we have 3 different families that are joining us. And we wanted a place where our kids could come, where their friends could come. There was enough room for everybody to sleep. We sleep 14. In a nutshell, what's kind of nice about it is that if you want it private, it's private. If you want it open, you come down here to this area. So I may just point out to the outside, which is a big lure to us, is we have a lot of frontage on the water. I've forgotten how much frontage we have on the water, Sal. But
lots.
It's lots.
Expansive.
And what this is behind you, you can't really see it from where we're filming, but this is Bimini Bay. Bimini Bay is famous for those that like to paddleboard, for those that like to do light sailing and what have you. It's also a great fishing spot for somebody that does that. And it's the protected area for boaters that you can kind of come with kids, and it's protected. Once you get outside of Bimini Bay and Galati's, which is a major international type yacht sales place, you are going to be in the open bay, and it's in the back bay of sort of that Skyway Bridge area. But back here, for those that come and want a boat, we've got a lift, and the lift effectively can handle about 10,000 pounds of boat, and that's a pretty good size boat. I will tell you that it's kind of neat on a day like today, and we're in the fall now of the year. The summer has sort of come to an abrupt close, thank goodness, as we've been in this crazy window that our friends can effectively enjoy the bar and the open air, and that's something that we've enjoyed a lot in this last year. I don't know that I would use this necessarily in the middle of July and August, but it's nice when you hit September, and we get about eight months of this just being open. This is a very interesting piece. We thought this was a shark. We had a very close friend who's a big bill fisherman that pointed out that is a tuna, but it's also a shaker, so if anybody wants a beverage, there's a chance for that. Back in this area, there's a wine cooler. We also are into music, so we have a lot of lots of speakers going and what have you throughout the place. And I'll walk you into an area that seems like kids enjoy this, athletes enjoy watching the sports. We have flat screen city. Do you know how many we have,
There's 10
sweetheart?
flat screens. There's one in every single bedroom. There's one in the bar, one in the living room, and one downstairs for a little kiddie retreat. So there's a lot of electronics.
And as you walk into this area, our idea here is to have our family close. We have watched some big sporting events in here predominantly, and it's strange that you would think about this in Florida for you northerners watching this, but I was attracted to the fireplace. We do have regular fires in here. It's kind of nice. I would tell you that the wood is easy to get around here. It's usually the oak is like plentiful and you barely even have to pay for it, but we've enjoyed that process. I'll walk you through something my wife and youngest son, Skylar, came up with, which is this famous sliding barn door. And at first it looked a little bit interesting to me. I wasn't sure how this would go. But if you're in there sleeping, I will tell you want this out here to keep the kids and the activities and what have you. So this is the master bedroom. There are 2 masters in the house. In effect, you walk into this room, and I guess when I remember walking in here the first time with Sally and saying, we'll take it. And it was kind of like waking up in the morning to this kind of scene. If you look down the ways, you can see Bimini Bay and all that's going on there. We do have a lot of friends. One of our friends has a house right here. Another one of our friends just bought a house across the canal and is starting a renovation over there. Our neighbors are chilled. We see them when we want to. They see us when they want to. Tend to want to get away from it all and sort of relax. So I'll walk you into the master bath. And again, our idea here is to have a lot of light, airy kind of white and pastel-y colors. And this kind of gives you that feeling of, it's fun to get up in the morning and enjoy it. So I'm going to pass the baton off to Sally again.
All right, we will show you, we call this room Grandma's room. It's just an extra bedroom downstairs. I figure if Grandma comes to stay and she doesn't want to go up and down the stairs, there is a kitty in this room, and she's pink, just like the bedroom. Her name is Pushenka, and this room has a lot of really great light too. we tried to do every single bedroom is different and unique. So lots of different colors, lots of different themes. But the 2 master suites I think are awesome because 2 families can come and enjoy big, huge, expansive master baths and king-size beds. So should we go upstairs and take a look?
Yeah, actually, I was going to throw out the bar here. We put this in. This is a slab of cypress. A friend of ours did this, and effectively we have 4 seats here. I can't tell you how much fun it's been to have kids and family watching the big game, sort of having an open air feeling, and having these filled up with friends and food and so on. I will also tell you from a color scheme, I will warn you the colors will constantly change on the walls. Sally may point out what the paintings are all about.
Well, the paintings are original artwork that Brad has done, and he is into watercolors and has been working on these to go up on the walls here. He paints here. He paints, a couple of these were done in Jamaica, paints at our house back in Hyde Park. He loves doing it, and it's a little hobby that maybe even could become more than that someday. We'll see.
And how long have you been painting, Brad?
Since I was a child. And I will throw out to whoever has an interest in that, this is a huge artsy area, especially it seems south of here in Sarasota. There's a big Ringling type of school of the arts. And I will tell you, our next door neighbors into watercolors. It seems like everybody has an interest in the colors and so forth. So there's turtles. Right now, this is turtle season on the island. And if you're into that, I will tell you it's very rare to be able to see them coming and going, but you know they're wrapped off. There are literally hundreds of nests on the island, and this particular picture right next to Sally is from a hatching that we saw. The next day, the little turtles were running everywhere. We were helping them get to the water. They tend to want to go to the light, and there were some places that were lit up on the shoreline, so the little guys were confused, and we got to sort of help them to the water. And that sort of came up in our mind as something that would be fun to throw on the wall. I will tell you, this one over here, which is a tarpon, is one that came as a result of our boys being down here for 4th of July last year, and that's prime tarpon season. So if you really want to hit it, you're probably talking May, June, July. They start to fade in sort of that August period of time. So this is July 4th. Happened to be our middle son's birthday, and unfortunately for him, the youngster, Skylar, caught it right in front of Logan, and it was about 60 pounder. There were 9 jumps. Caught it with a good friend, Eric, who's always volunteering his guiding services to help us catch tarpon. We've caught a bunch out here, so that gives you a feel. There's some art over here. This is a sailfish, and respect to another friend named Mark, who's very into sailfish. This one's a pelican coming off the water. If you look closely at this particular one, you can see the skyway in the back. And again, these are going to change, so you may come here and they're not here, and there'll be other ones up here. That's kind of a fun process of this. For those that like to eat fish, this is the famous local redfish. They're extremely tasty, and I will tell you a lot of them do them blackened. And then this is a picture behind Sally's parents' house in Annapolis, and just kind of reminds me of the sailing that's always going on over there. I will also throw out a little bathroom. Seems like when we're having a party, this gets a lot of use. And going back to that sort of Annapolis and nautical theme, we went with a sailboat theme. Sally came up with this. She's sort of got a creative mind in decorating. And if you're wondering who our decorator is, it is Sally. We did not hire anybody to come in here and do all this. And then this is our family. This is our front porch in Hyde Park in Tampa. And Brad is up in Boston, as I mentioned. Logan is in Arlington, Virginia. And then Skylar is in North Carolina. And that's Babalu before puppies.
One thing I point out too that we wanted the house to be really functional, so we threw in a little laundry room in the back corner upstairs, so that you don't have to go trounce up and down, to the basement or whatever. We wanted the house to be easy, functional, everybody together, lots of fun. So that came upstairs.
As we're walking up the stairs, one of the things you'll notice, there's some wall space here. We're going to try to cover that with lots of painting. So as the time goes on, this will start to fill up a little bit and keep us busy. So upstairs you have 4 bedrooms. There is the second master, which seems to be a thing that whichever friend gets here first tends to get this bedroom, and it's nice because of the view. And if you look out here, this is that $1 million view that everybody wants to be in the area for, and it's tropical. These trees behind us, by the way, are coconuts. They are starting to seed right now. They tend to, I guess, hit their peak around Christmas time, and that's been a lot of fun. For those that are not from the area, they're edible, they are drinkable, and they're the real deal. So as you walk through here, this is the second master bath. Shower, kind of the theme is again open and brightness, and I'll hit the lights here. Gives you the feel of, let's see, there we go. So gives you the feel that you're on vacation. And I will tell you, which is something that's been said by a lot of friends, when you hit the bridge coming in on Manatee, you really feel like the world is behind you. You are officially on vacation. So that's been a nice feeling for us. We always say, when we jump in the car and we got an hour to go, you know, we're on vacation. I'm going to turn it back over to Sally.
All right, let me show you one of our favorite rooms. This is the bunk bedroom. And believe it or not, we have a triple bunk on the left and then a double bunk. So we can throw a bunch of kids in here. And of course, have the TV for them so they can hide away up here, or they can go downstairs to the downstairs area and use another TV. And then there is a little hall bathroom here with a bathtub. And this serves 2 of the bedrooms. And then on the right, we have another waterfront bedroom. There's actually 3 bedrooms that have water views. This is a little nautical room, and it has its own little private half bath with a toilet and a sink.
And I'm going to point out the view again, because that for me is what lured me here as a child, and the fishing and what have you. But what we like is you're able to see from here almost like you're in a tree fort of all the things going on. Out this side is the Skyway Bridge. Bimini Bay is right behind us, and then the Gulf of Mexico beaches are over here. And they've become world famous. There's a number of surveys that rate the beaches around the world, and consistently these beaches are in the top 10. It's a stone's throw from a lot of other places you can go. We like going down to St. Armand's Key with folks that are from out of town, and to be able to enjoy just the walking around the circle and the food, and it's a very visual sort of place where you go with friends and into people watching. And it's also very artsy. If you're into art, you can see a lot of places, studios, as well as sort of that sort of Meisner sort of architecture. It is a stunningly gorgeous spot, and I would say from here we're talking 30 minutes. Mm-hmm. If you drive fast, you can do it faster, but I wouldn't recommend that.
It's a pretty drive along the water, along all the beaches. You get to really check out the area.
So we're going to go into the last bedroom, which is, seems like, it's not a chauvinistic comment, but it seems like the guys like the wood. I don't know why. It seems like the women want to paint these rooms white, but we've got 4 guys that vote out of 5, and so far we voted to keep this wood. And this is the old... basically cedar that a lot of these older houses were built in the 50s, 60s, 70s, and you know, kind of expensive to do it today. The entire outside of the house is wrapped in cedar, and by the way, that's not like a 1/4 inch or 1/2 inch. That is 1.5 inches cedar all the way around the outside of the house. So it's very well insulated. You don't get a lot of noise coming in here or out of here. And we just love the feel of this room, and I will tell you, we've had friends come here and they say, we feel like we're somewhere in Cape Cod or Martha's Vineyard. It's sort of got that laid-back sort of feeling in this room, and that's why we kept it this way. This is an old bed, by the way, that Sally and I bought this in an auction 35 years ago in Washington, D.C., and I remember this... This bed was where, frankly, we spent a lot of time where all our kids were from, so it has a lot of meaning to it. Back to Sally.
I would just throw out one last thing on the bedrooms is that one thing that attracted us to this house is all the bedrooms have these vaulted ceilings, so you have a real sense of expansiveness and openness.
Kind of cool to have a wood paneled ceiling. I don't see that much except for old lodges. And this is the final bathroom upstairs. Kind of the colors and what have you. The theme is, again, island theme and chilled out and what have you. We're walking downstairs. We will assure you we're not going much further in our discussion of our house, but as you can tell, it's our second getaway kind of home. It has become home, and I can tell you, if you don't know about the restaurants, there are about 5 you need to know about. One of them is walkable. We walk to it every time we're here. You walk in this direction 1 block, you turn left at the beach, and you go 2 blocks and you're at the waterfront. What I like about the waterfront is their food's amazing, but it's the ability to sit outside 12 months out of the year and enjoy just a chilled out neighborhood. The neighbors walk by. It doesn't even matter if you know them. Everybody's saying hello. They also have a bar. If you're into a clubby kind of bar, that's where you want to go. It's just a nice little spot. I will throw out, we love Slim's. If you want to go to Slim's, you go exactly this way. So you're going towards the other beaches. I'm going to throw out Slim's is probably 4 blocks, and you are there, and I tell you, it's the place where you want to go watch the game if you don't want to watch it here. It is great food. I can tell you Sally's into the extremely good tater tots, and frankly, I will tell you the pizza's good, the burgers are good, but more importantly, the fish tacos are the best, and the grouper sandwiches are even better. I would tell you that next door is a great breakfast place. Sally loves to go there. Why don't you tell them about that?
Ginny and Jane's is great.
Ginny and Jane's.
Great son.
What do you get there?
They have everything. Omelets, bagels, great humongous cinnamon rolls with icing that are super chunky.
If you're addicted to coffee, that would be the place to go. They're always doing some kind of Jamaican type coffee that's cool. Who's got the best burger is a heavily debated topic on this island.
Yes, it is.
It is depends who you want to ask, and we won't get too political about that. But I will tell you that they are absolutely. It's hard to judge them against each other. But who do you like on the burger side? Is it Duffy's or is it?
Duffy's is pretty good.
Yeah, Duffy's is probably the closest. So we're going to go with Duffy's at the moment. Don't any of the competitors get mad at us about that. Who is our favorite place to go to every time we drive out of here and we're feeling like eating and we want to be quick?
Peepo's.
Peepo's. So you got to go to Peepo's. Peepo's is the freshest sort of Mexican thing. It's got a nice theme to it. We love the vibe there. We always sit at the bar, watch a TV show, a game or whatever, and we're on our way back to Tampa. And that sort of seems like how we close it up. If you want to go top drawer on restaurants, where would you go, Sally?
Either Waterfront or the new Asian sushi spot, which is also walkable from here.
Okay.
So
Ocean Star.
Ocean Star, right by the marina.
It's got all the boats are pulling up. It's got the yachts out front. They're big in Vikings. If you need a $4 million Viking, you can buy one right there at dinner. I thought you were going to say where I'm taking you for your birthday.
Oh, Beach Bistro.
The Beach Bistro.
Considered one of the best restaurants in the whole Tampa Bay area.
I believe they're Zagat rated, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. I would say the 2 highest rated, which is interesting, are Bistro and the Donut Shop, which is fascinating. I will also put in a plug for the fly fishing place. So if you like to fish, there are lots of ways to do it. You can go out deep. We had some friends here 2 weekends ago. The 3 guys went out diving and they were spear fishing. Unfortunately, they got 4 stringers of fish, and 2 were taken by bull sharks 80 feet down. That's for the folks that aren't weak at heart. If you want a grouper fish, I would tell you in the Gulf, starting out about 10 miles and further, they're coming in with not only the grouper, but they're also coming in with snapper and other things like that. I would throw out to you, if you're into fishing on the fly side, though, the shop right on Pine is the way to go, and if you'd help me with the name, I'm spacing it.
AMI Outfitters?
Yes, AMI Outfitters. Their artwork is phenomenal. By the way, the ambiance, the owner is always in there. He's always willing to help. If you're looking for a paddleboard or you're looking for clothes, it's the way to go. And in closing, I would tell you, again, welcome to our home. We've thoroughly enjoyed this.
Let's go out the back porch.
We're going to go out the back porch.
I almost forgot the back porch.
Here we go. Sorry about that. One last minute. So the back porch is kind of fun. This is where we tend to spend all of our time, so I'm kind of surprised we missed this. What's kind of fun is being able to hang out with friends at the bar and just kind of enjoying it. We have decided to not only have a Weber over here for those that like real charcoal, but we're also doing a gas grill for those that like to do the grilling thing. We do a lot of it. I will tell you the pool is kind of interestingly situated because it's on the side of the property where the sun sets. And what's interesting about that is that the people that like to be in the sun are on the left side of the pool, and the people that like to be in the shade in the afternoon get on the far right side of the pool. And what's nice is you can look down the canal to Bimini Bay and enjoy all that. One of our next things to do is to take down this fence over here and expand that a little bit and put in a horseshoe area. Also, we're going to have, the thought is maybe some, in the future, putting in some putting areas for those golfer types. But we just enjoy being in this area and the Florida lifestyle and all that comes with it. And I will tell you, we have our resident bird. He is across the canal right now. I call him Gray, and he sits at the edge of this pool probably 2 to 4 hours a day, and I don't think we have any more lizards or chameleons left. He has pretty much gotten those. One of the highlights, you can't see it during the daytime, but we're basically putting in 3 fish lights. And for those that don't know what this is, you put them under the water. They're kind of a lime fluorescent green, and they light up under the water. The minnows come, the bigger bait fish come, then the big guys come in. And if you looked really, really closely next to that boat lift to the right, I can't believe how lucky we got, but somebody sunk a skiff right there that's probably a 16-foot skiff, and it is secured to the bottom probably 8 to 10 feet down, and that's where we're going to put one of the lights. So that will be a reef constantly attracting fish. So if you want to catch them, you don't need a boat. We've got nets that we actually supply in the basement of the house for those that like to cast and catch that kind of thing. The last thing I'm going to throw out to you, if you were to point this way, going straight out to the beach, it's 1 block down, is the pier. It's a public pier. We forgot to mention this, that if you like to eat outside and have sort of that Florida lifestyle, there are 2 piers. One is the public pier right here, and the one that's maybe, I'm going to guess, 10 blocks down or so. Sal, why don't you tell about that one?
Well, there's the city pier and there's the rod and reel, and they're both great. You feel like you're sitting right on the water. So those are also super close. You can bike or walk really to them. They're fun. And the last thing I would show you is the indoor-outdoor bar. You can see you can just come in from the pool and open up the party doors and watch the game.
These are from the windows we opened earlier, right?
Right.
And this is kind of another just kind of fun, cool gathering spot that everyone really enjoys.
So thank you for being with us today, and this has been a lot of fun, and frankly for the ability to kind of show off our house and our Florida lifestyle. I can tell you, if you like chilled out, if you like fishing, if you like being around the water, you like being in the sun, you just kind of like that Florida lifestyle, Anna Maria is pretty hard to beat. So welcome to the Waterfront Resort, and we'd love to have you.
Awesome. All right. Well, you can book Waterfront Retreat online at www.islandreal.com or give us a call at 877-778-6066. That's 877-778-6066. Thanks for watching.